How to win more games in Arena in Season 2. It all starts out with landing somewhere you're comfortable with, so I'm gonna land at my duo drop spot. Oh, there are a lot of people here. Holy smokes. Was I there? Pistol. Let's land up top. In an off-spawn fight, especially when there's a lot of players, you want to go for a quick kill before people get really good guns. That way you can get extra health from the siphon and you can get siphon mats. If you have more materials than your enemies early on, you're probably going to have a better chance of winning. So I get that quick kill, get healthy with the splash here, and immediately look for another fight. I get a quick health advantage on this guy, but he has a pump, so I need to be careful. I pickaxe his floor once, pull out my shotgun looking for a counter shot. Instead, he makes another box, so I get in and get closer up to him here. Right here, he resets his wall. He's weaker than me, so what I do is just jump on in. When you have a health advantage, it's not a bad idea to surprise get into their box. He wasn't expecting it, so I got the quick kill. Now I have mats, good health, and a Havoc shotgun, so I immediately look for someone else. I pretend to get up over this guy and then back up and slowly take a right-hand peek here. He was expecting me to sprint up over top of him, so when I cut back and take that right-hand peek shot, it caught him off guard. That's when he builds up over top of me, but he's only connected by this cone, so I'm able to chop him out. Perfect. So now we got blade, we got pump. We need ammo and stuff, so we're gonna loot up a little bit. Somebody else is lurking here. So we're gonna counter lurk. It's coming this way. Beautiful. All right, now we got ODM gear, we got splash, we got minis, better guns, more ammo. This is perfect. So we know that if we ever take a lot of damage, need more heals, we can come back here because there's obviously a lot of extra heals. But now we're just going to farm some wood, make sure we get 500 wood because it's the only material you can fast farm at the moment in the game. But what we're going to do now is fly kind of towards the outer edge. It seemed like there were a lot of people that landed on this side of the map, so we're going to hunt them down. Yep, somebody right below us here. This right here is a really good way to end a fight fast with this new ODM gear. I know he's below me, so I shoot him once to make him box up. As soon as he boxes up, I pounce on him with the ODM gear. If you press your shotgun bind the second you hit their builds, your shotgun will pull out immediately and you can take a quick shot. After I got the shot, I got some piece control on him and the fight was over. And dead. Someone's flying over. Shoot him out of his ODM gear. Block our angles. 42. He's got a splash, so he's going to be healthy still. The goal of any fight is to start with a health advantage, so when he uses his splash to make the fight even again, I know I need to play a little bit slow and very safe behind my peaks. Playing cautious at the start of a fight where you're both 200 HP is what leads you to getting a health advantage and being able to end the fight later. So you can see throughout this whole fight, I'm taking super safe peeks and blocking my angles. I'm always making sure to block angles that I think he could go for a side jump on or double edit at me on. That way he really has no plays he can make. This is a very patient way of fighting, but it's a really safe way of fighting as well. Whenever I see him double editing up, I make a window in my wall and take a safe peek. Once I get a big health advantage here, that's when I get directly on his wall. But in this situation, I choke the timing and I end up getting pumped here. Whenever you're on a wall like this, you need to be ready to flip your cone up to block his shot. But in this situation, I choked and got hit a lot. So I get healthy again and restart the fight, taking safe peeks once again. Right here, I see him pressuring my floor with no wall in between me and him. Remember how I was placing walls every time I was pressuring his top? This is why. I edit up, place the walls, and then I make a window and take a peek shot. And just like that, the fight is over. But we're looking pretty good right now. Let's see if we can get Keymaster. Oh, we got game time, even better. I do remember there being pizza over here. So we can wait to get our game time for a little bit. So at this point, we want to try to avoid going to the center part of the map here. It's usually pretty sketch over there, and it's also sketch near the vault areas at this point in the game. So what we're going to try to do is maybe fight here and then over towards Slappy. We'll definitely find a few players, but not too many. Or we'll find someone right here. All right, he's going to be healthy here. He just got the slurp truck. This is another fight where my opponent is healthy at the start, and even worse, I took damage to start this fight because I choked my builds. So I immediately start to heal and my opponent is pressuring, but I use the pizza to make him think I'm still healing and I go for a quick shot to even out the fight. I see an opportunity to get some piece control and I almost full box him here, but he mantled over top, and this is a situation where you need to be aware of what builds are yours and what builds aren't. I knew the build above me was his, so he was just gonna drop in and take a shot. That's why I moved into the other box, and I was able to finish the fight immediately by taking this peek from below. We turned that around so fast. Immediately after that fight, I ran into another player, but this one, I actually start with a health advantage. Now watch how I pressure his wall. I flip a cone up, edit out the side, place another cone, and immediately start shooting his wall. Getting off to the left with the wall edited just like I have here sets up a right-hand peek for us to pressure, and that's how I ended the fight right away. That combo for pressuring a wall is so good because if he decides to edit at you, you already have a right-hand peek set up. But we're gonna follow that route I talked about. We're gonna go through here and over to Slappy. We might run into the brutal player with the mythic, which could be a bit of a difficult fight, but if we win it, we're gonna be so set up. I think I saw someone in here. Yep. This is not a bad guy to fight. All right, looks like he's right here. He's waiting for us. He's ready to fight. This is a situation you're gonna run into a lot. This player is running away. I have him weak and I wanna keep on chasing because it's definitely a free kill. But there's another player following in our path and he's really close behind, ready to third party. So I let the weak player go and focus on the third party. That way I can focus on fighting one player at a time rather than two. I do a really nice building combo to start this fight. I start out by ramping and extending cones to block the enemy's angle on me while I build up. Then I build walls through my cone, that way when I edit the cone, I'm still not exposed. The whole point of a high ground retake is to block your angles while building up. When I edit through my wall, I build walls up towards the enemy. This gives me piece control on him. All I have to do is edit a window in my wall, place a cone above him, and now I have him boxed. All right, let's initiate this fight. $72, 100, dead. So now we can head over to Slappy to try to find that other player. There could be players back here. You see there's builds? Wherever there's builds, there could be players. I think we're getting pushed. To start this fight, I push from the left side of his box just like in earlier fights so I have a right-hand peek. I end up taking a little bit of damage so I back up, pop some splash, and restart the fight. When I'm pressuring from above here, just like before, I use my walls to set up peeks, but this time I use my wall as a right-hand peek. Somehow my shot missed even though it looks like it went right into him, and then I end up taking a bad peek here. So we're both weak here, I use my splash, get healthy again, and restart the fight later. He was breaking into this building. When they're breaking walls of buildings, they can't see through it, so I'd go for a surprise attack when I claim the wall here. I end up getting a health advantage when he was going through awkward angles, and that's when I use my knowledge of the building to cut him off on an upper layer. When he got the wall in front of me, I shoot it once with my shotgun and pickaxe it once. That's the fastest way to break a wall. Rather than going to the center of the circle, we're gonna play along the outer edge and try to find some players. Outskirt players are always going to be easier fights than center map players. Center map players are usually pretty confident. They've been WTM most of the game. But if you play around these outer edges, you can find more people that have been camping. If you want to get better practice, going center is going to be where the more intense fights are, but this is a guide for how to gain arena points, so we're going to go towards the outer edge. There could be someone camping these buildings, but at this point in the game, you never really want to run through buildings. If I had ODM gear, maybe you just smash it apart, but here we go. Sneak fry. 170. When you get that big of a health advantage, you can literally just charge in. All right, we can mark this, and that way we know there's a ton of extra splash here if we need it. At this point, there's only 5 more players, so I assume there's one sweaty player who was in that fight over there, and then there's probably kids in bushes. So let's go try to get a sneak fry on the W keyer here. All right, we killed the guy he was fighting. Now it's us versus the sweaty player. Here we go. Oh, there's a third party flying. Again, if you're fighting in the center of the circle like we are right now, you really have to pay attention for third parties. Like, I just third party that guy, freest kill of my life. To start the fight against this player, I make a couple boxes just to feel out how aggressive this guy is. Sure enough, he immediately just tried to jump in my box and it worked. He went straight through everything and now I'm one shot. When you have this much of a health disadvantage, the enemy's always going to over-aggress. So before he could even get on my wall here, I immediately surprise him while he has his builds out. This gives me time to pop some more splashes and get healthy again. I also go back into the old builds, find juice and max mats. So now I'm set up again. I decide to go up on the hill here to get elevation, that way I can see where everybody is, but I got fried on the way up here. And what do we know about this player? He's very over aggressive, so he immediately pounces on me. I get a little counter damage, but it's not enough to back him up yet. So I make sure I'm keeping enough distance so I don't let him in my box, and I'm trying to get these extra heals off. Once I'm healthy again, I immediately look for a chance to surprise him. Right here, when I make this edit, he has his pickaxe out, which is the only reason I was able to take a shot without getting hit. Right after I shoot him, I place a ramp over my head to block my angles, then get off to the side, pop my juice, and now the fight's even again. Right here in the fight, I see an opportunity to get a wall and cone over the enemy, but I'm being very careful with how I take my shots here. I cannot give him an opportunity to jump in my box since he has the pulse rifle. Notice how I keep shooting his builds, but I'm aiming at him through his builds. That way, if he makes an edit, I'll hit him for a big chunk of damage. But right here in the fight, I played it really well, but missed my shot, and now he's in my box with the health advantage. He's just spraying through with the pulse rifle. I time a pre-fire when he breaks my build. So now we're in a 50-50 and I have the advantage. That's until my pump doesn't shoot here and I almost go down. As soon as I get that kill, I'm 1 HP and there's a third party here, so I immediately make more space for myself. The third party knows I'm weak. I'm lucky that he didn't just spray through my builds here, but I just held him out until he ran out of ammo, immediately edit out, run away, get some spare loot from a previous fight, get my game time perk, and now we're set up again. This endgame is literally just 2 people, so it should be pretty easy. We just gotta make sure we stay ahead and don't get held in the storm at any point in this endgame. So I first get ahead, grab some pizza, that way I have some fast heals for the endgame. Then this guy connects to my builds, and he's not connected by much, so I hit him with the chop out play. It doesn't do that much, except it makes him a target by the other player. The other player just starts pouncing on him with that new item, and whenever somebody is spam pouncing, all you gotta do is shoot him once, and then he can't use it anymore for a while. So I get up over top, hit him with a pump, and now things have calmed down a bit. I'm just missing everything on that guy. We're gonna look for a fry on him. We gotta go. Uh-oh. The guy next to me just got cracked, so I know he's gonna be focused on healing. I focus on the guy that's healthy, get him weak, and now I'm the best player in the lobby. That's when this happens. Okay, that's just unlucky, bro. So now it's just a regular 1v1. I build up to high ground here, and I'm just setting up safe peaks from here, and then this happens. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I'm just gonna let him live, honestly. Well, I hope this helped you guys out. Stay tuned because more content coming soon. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.